to episode 43 of Bitches of Horror.
And today we have a Christmas special.
Yay.
So cheers!
Cheers! Skål!
Yeah, skål. This is what we call julmust. I don't even know what it's made of, but it's what we drink for Christmas.
Yeah, and Easter.
And Easter, yeah. But then we call it Easter must.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I don't even know. You know, there's nothing that tastes like this, really.
No. I don't even know how to describe it.
No.
It's like weird Coke.
Yeah,
very
like with
weird.
deep taste.
Yeah.
Very special. If you're ever in Sweden, you know, you just get your hands on
try
some.
it. And it's so cheap now.
It is. So good and so cheap. We love it.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have our Christmas special
As you
with
can
Christmas films.
Yes.
Some special ones this year. We didn't have one last year, and we're a bit late this year, but we have one. And that's the most important part.
Yeah.
So let's get started with our first film, Elves.
Yeah, from 1989 by Jeffrey Mandel.
It's also from the United States, or also most of our films are, and about these little elves running around and killing people.
Killing people, yeah.
And there's a sort of a twist in it, but we don't want to spoil it.
So...
But it's about some sort of evil elves, anyways, trying to kill people. And these elves aren't your, you know, cute little...
Oh no.
You know, this type of hat elves.
They're
got
big as ugly elves.
Yeah, big, ugly demon elves.
Yeah, but they're very cool. I like them.
I did like them. And I did like that it was like different from, you know, the regular elves.
Even how they moved. Like, they did a really good job with how they moved and like took things. It was good.
It wasn't. They didn't show too much of it because you know it wasn't a real elf.
No.
Elf.
But it's understandable.
Yes. But you know, sometimes they show it too much and it just looks ugly. But in this, I didn't think they did that. Even though this is quite a budget film, but it was. I think it was. I liked it. I kind of liked it.
It was better than expected.
It was, yeah,
definitely.
I like the Santa Claus guy too. The guy who played Santa Claus. He was pretty.
Yeah, me too.
Likeable.
But there were some very unlikable characters. The brother.
Yeah.
He was. I was like, can't you just die?
Most of the girls as well. They're just like.
Yeah.
There was one scene when they were like, "Oh, so you know, do you have sex? You know, you go all the way with them?" Yeah. And she's like, "Nah, he's not. You know, not the one or whatever." So she's like, "How do you do that? How do you not have sex with them if they want it?
Like, how can you say no?" And she's like, just say no. She's like, "No, but I don't want that trouble. I
can't do the hassle, you know.
I want
don't want
did
the
she actually say that?
It's like, yeah, you're getting raped. You're not even saying no. Well, you know, not to be like that, but if you can't even say no, then you know.
I don't even want to go into that.
No, I don't want to go into that discussion, but it was just like
just character.
like who is like that?
Yeah.
If you're like that, then just, you know, learn how to say no. You're not supposed to have sex with people you don't want to have sex with. Just learn to say no. It's also a really weird story.
It is. It feels like it wants to be like multiple storylines, and it's.
I kind of feel that it wanted to be original, but it just turned out to be like just really strange and like weird, and the old man in it was really strange, and it just took a dive like in the middle of the film when they came into the real story, and just like, what?
Yeah, but first at the beginning, when some people were locked in a mall. Yeah. That was good. I was like, okay, if the story continues like this in the mall, amazing. And they took a weird turn.
It took a weird turn. If you've seen this, then you know what we're talking about.
Weird.
It was really weird.
When they cut to another scene, I was like, what? I don't know.
What's going on?
And the ending was weird. I don't know. I didn't care much about the ending, but I've seen worse endings. Yeah. But I did like some of the death scenes.
Yes. Yeah. They were cool. It was an average, film. Better than expected because, you know, Elves doesn't really sound like a great film, and the plot wasn't really, you know, fantastic.
But it's Elves. Like, how many killer Elves movies have you seen?
Exactly. So, you know, it's definitely the best elf film out there.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, I think this is about a 6 out of 10. This is acceptable and pretty entertaining, but some of the things in it was just like, what? So 6 out of 10 for me.
6 out of 10. Definitely.
Sweet Christmas spirit. Next up is Gingerdead Man.
Yeah, not Gingerbread Man. Gingerdead Man.
And this again, this
2005, made by Charles Band, starring the wonderful Gary Busey.
Yes, and also this was, I think it was written by, what was his name? William Butler, who also did Demonic Toys 2.
Which we talked about.
Yeah, talked about in the last episode. So,
And the expectation bar was set pretty high. No.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it wasn't set pretty high, this wasn't a fantastic movie. It's about in the beginning, it kind of goes crazy. It's kind of Chucky-ish, isn't it? Child play.
Yeah.
There's this crazy murderer going around, and then he goes all wild, and then it's like somewhat years later or something like that. A year later. And they're gonna bake a gingerbread man.
And his soul transformed into a gingerbread
man.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Chucky, but
it's really weird, because they make this huge one. I'm like, what are they gonna do with that big of a gingerbread man? I'm not sure if there was a competition or something, but it was like this big, and I was just like, who makes a gingerbread man that big? But that's interesting.
Well, yeah. Well, at least the scenes with the gingerbread man was funny.
Yeah, it was alright.
Like the lines.
Some of the lines.
He looked quite goofy.
The mouth
the teeth,
was like...
the teeth. That was hilarious.
There's some really bad acting in this, though. Like, the one girl, not the main girl, but I think it was her sister.
Yeah.
She was just horrible. I just wanted, to kick her out.
Yeah.
Or her stepsister or something. I don't know who she was, but it was just really weird.
Yeah, there weren't so many, great characters.
But I actually did like the man. The sort of hillbilly, not hillbilly, but he had a southern accent. And, usually people who have southern accents in films are portrayed as stupid, but he wasn't actually stupid. Yeah. In the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, maybe this guy's going to be the biggest douche. And he was actually quite likable, which really surprised me. And there's just some of the acting in this was really terrible.
Yeah, the story, I don't know, it didn't interest me so much.
No.
The good thing is that it was short.
Yes, it was. It was 1
hour. 1 hour.
Yeah.
feature
exactly
1 hour and
film.
then 10 minutes credits.
Yeah. Pretty okay SFX in it.
Yeah. It was pretty okay.
I had that going for it.
Yeah. Some funny scenes, but...
I didn't really enjoy it that much.
No, me neither. I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10 here, too.
Yeah.
And next up, A Christmas Cruelty.
Yes, made in 2013 by Per Ingvar Thomren and Magne Steinsvall.
Yes, and this film is from Norway.
Yeah, and I'm Norwegian, so I'm proud to have more Norwegian horror films.
Yeah, Norway makes some really good films.
Yeah,
you must
definitely kicking Sweden's ass.
Yeah, well, we make crap movies. Yeah. Most of the time. But this one's about sort of a psychotic Santa.
Yeah, and he's stalking his victims as they prepare for Christmas. So we see these young adults preparing for Christmas, goofing around, having fun, just being goofy friends.
Yeah, it started off really good with a really brutal intro scene.
The opening scene really sets the tone for the film, with the brutality and just the feeling of nastiness and just kind of a raw feeling to it. The cinematography,
then after the sort of intro bit, they move on to the 3 main characters of the film. And I really love that their story in the beginning, they're making masks for Christmas. I'm not sure if that's a thing in Norway, but they're talking about the mythological Krampus and some sort of different beings of Christmas, and I really love that because I love mythology. So I was hoping it was kind of
about it all the time.
Kind of going in that direction, which it didn't, unfortunately, but. Yes. I found out about this film from you, actually. She actually reviewed it on 13th Floor.
Yeah.
And I was hoping for some gruesome action.
Well, you got some gruesome action.
I did in the end. But I thought it was a really long wait until something actually happened, except for the first intro 3-minute bit. But, I just thought there was too much music and, montage scenes going on. It didn't really I didn't feel like these scenes had anything to give towards the film, the story in the film. A lot of the scenes, some of them were okay, but some of them went on for 4 or 5 minutes, which is I feel is too long and then having multiple montage scenes for that long. And that kind of got to me. I was just like, this is not even a part of the movie, really.
Yeah, you were writing to me when you saw it.
Yeah.
I was like, Jasmine, just wait.
Yeah.
The good stuff is coming.
Yeah, the end, you know, when it gets kicking, really good gore scenes.
Yeah, the SFX in this is amazing.
Like, it is really.
It's so good.
It took me by surprise when the first like big thing came on. I was like, whoa. Yeah, it was cool.
Like, wow, I was blown away. Like, these are the SFX I'm hoping one day to be able to make.
Definitely.
But I didn't mind the
SFX goals.
The middle part. Like, even though it was kind of slow, I actually enjoyed it. Like, the build-up of the characters, getting to know them, and
that's
it paid off.
It's another thing though, like, because you know, there's this one guy who's like in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But he can walk. Like throughout the movie, he gets up and walks. And I'm just like, I
don't remember that.
And they're like having a party, and he lifts his leg, and I'm like, but if he's in a wheelchair, why is he lifting his leg? And I was like, okay, maybe it's only one of his legs. And then like towards the end, he just like starts walking, and I'm just like, this is really weird. Why is he in a wheelchair if he can walk? I'm not sure if that was a miss or if it's an actual like he's just lazy, so that's why he's in a wheelchair. There's some stuff like that, like just like really annoyed me. One thing I do have to say about this movie though, which I don't think that there is in a lot of indie and specifically gore movies, is that there's a really good music in this film.
Yeah, there is.
The band that plays in this, I'm not sure if there's multiple bands, but the bands in this film do really good music, and the music I really did enjoy, even though, you know, I didn't feel that the scenes were necessary. It was really good music, which I feel is sort of lacking in indie film. You know, you don't have the money to do it. No. I understand that, but
so you take whatever's free.
Yeah,
most of the time,
you know, fortunately, Sweden and Norway, you know, Scandinavia in general, we have really good bands, like small bands, you know, they just want their music to be out there. Yeah.
So you can get your hands on a lot of good music, and yeah. And fortunately, I have lots of friends who are musicians. So
yeah, definitely. If you're a you know, an indie movie maker and you want music, come, you know, check out people in Scandinavia, because we have really good musicians over here. But that was like one of my main issues. That and some of the editing. Like sometimes it was just like he was sitting at a desk and it just went zoom into his face, zoom out of his face, zoom into his face, zoom out of his face, and I was just like, it's not really that feeling here, so why are they doing this? I understand if it's like a murder scene or like a trippy scene that, you know, you move around a lot to get that sort of feel, but when he's sitting in an office talking to someone, when there's nothing like that going on, it was just really out of place, and it, you know, it
threw you off.
It threw me off, and I was just like, why are they doing this? I'd like to know why, you know.
Yeah, well,
I'd like to ask, like, why.
Yeah,
but that was my main issue, like the middle part of this film. But the beginning and the end was really good.
The end just makes up for everything. Like, wow, the end. Like,
I don't think it makes up for stuff, but I do think it's fantastic. I do.
It is. Like, I had so much anxiety watching one specific scene. I don't want to spoil which one, but it's pretty. That was pretty hard to watch that scene. That was hard.
I think I might know the one you're talking about. But if it is the one you're talking about, then I don't think that the person's reaction was harsh enough. Oh, if that happened in real life, you'd be in a lot more pain than what that person was showing. But the SFX in this is unbelievable. Yeah. Like for an indie film, like I don't know where they found these people who make these SFX, but it was just fantastic.
I have actually been fortunate enough to have been talking with Patty Tomlén, who directed this film and who also plays a part in it. And he was kind enough to send me and Jasmine a copy of Christmas Cruelty.
Boom.
And we actually talked a lot about the SFX, and he explained how he did each one of them. And it's so impressive. And they spend most of the money on the effects, I think.
Well, I can imagine that. I can imagine.
And it paid off because each
one
really is brilliant.
I also like the masks that they made were really cool and really well done. I love the mask, and I really hope that they use those masks for another project because they were fantastic and they weren't really used enough to be, like just weird in a different film. It'd be cool in a different film. And also the Santa mask. Is really cool.
Yeah, it's the one.
Really good.
Yeah. See, it's gruesome.
Yeah, it's like scary with like the eyes and like dark, and I really just the makeup and the mask and
the image really of him.
Yeah. No. Yeah, so great SFX, great music.
And I like the cinematography because it felt so raw and just honest in a way.
It was just the zooming thing that I didn't really understand. But other than that, I really like the other stuff.
Yeah, and the middle part. I like the grim feeling. No. What will you give this?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10, okay. I'll give this
I mean, for me, it'd be so much better if they just took away half of the middle part. Like, if it was shorter, I'd give it like an 8. But it really kind of lost me in the middle there, so 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was actually my review on 13th Floor that caught the attention of.
Did you give it a 9 out of 10 there, or did you grade it there, or did you just write about it?
I think I give it a 9 out of 10 as well. Maybe 9.5 even. I want to give it a 9.5. I love my halves. Yeah, but he actually contacted 13th Floor and asked about being in contact with the person who wrote the review. Yeah. So I was like, that's me. Hello.
It is.
Yeah. So amazing.
Yeah, I love. Also, thank you though for like reaching out because as a fan, and it really warms your heart, doesn't it? Just a word or a thank you or a you're cool or just anything.
To take a lot of time to respond to everyone who's interested in seeing his film.
That's great. It's fantastic. Cool. I do look forward to like future things from them because I think they can do a lot of great things.
Yeah, and seeing more gore scenes. Oof, I can't wait.
It's fun. Yeah, it's really cool. But moving on to our short film, A Lucha Gore Christmas.
Yeah, and we love Lucha Gore films. Yeah.
Yes, we do. Whew.
It's by Gigi Guerrero. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Made in 2015. And it's very short, so I don't want to spoil it too much. It's just, what can we say it's about?
It's about Santa.
Yeah, Santa preparing.
Just preparing.
Yeah, just preparing.
Preparing for Christmas.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. Yeah. Cool effects.
Very cool effects.
Great cinematography, great music, great story, great everything.
As usual, it's
a perfect short film. Yeah, it's like 1 minute long, 1.5 minute long.
Yeah, it's perfect.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah,
that's our review.
Wow.
Yeah, Christmas, holiday spirit. Let's go.
Yeah, for once. No, just kidding.
And look forward to our next episode because we are going to have a New Year's special.
Yeah, and remember the one we did last year?
It's going to be similar to it, but a little bit different.
Yes, and we will have our top 10 lists for 2016.
We'll also have some of our worst films of 2016.
Oh.
It's going to be a fun episode, to say the least.
Definitely.
So see you next episode. Stay horrific.
Yeah. Skål.
Skål.